I've been sick for a week.
I believe it.
It's 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock.
I was
Go.
last week.
Okay. All right, Brad, relax. I apologize for doing this virtually, but I don't think you want my germs. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Will the clerk please read the statement?
Adequate notice of this regular meeting was provided to the public and the press on January 6, 2023, and was posted at the municipal building in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, NJSA 10:4-7.
Okay, please join me as we salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, please call the roll.
Councilmember Di Benedetto,
Present.
Councilmember Rizzuto,
Here.
Councilmember Sparta,
Here.
Councilmember Chadwick,
Here.
Council
Here.
President Chieri.
I'm here. Again, I don't know if there's anyone in the public there. I just want to apologize being virtual, but I am getting over a cold, so I am keeping my germs to myself. And hope everyone else stays healthy, especially through Christmas. Our next item is a discussion item, the 2023 Best Practices Survey. Is Danelle there? I can't tell.
Yep.
Okay.
I don't know if anyone has any specific questions about the best practices. It's an annual survey that the state requires us to, with the help of the administrator and a bunch of department heads. Some of the items are scored. They use that scoring to supposedly calculate our state aid for the year. As long as you get above a certain score, you're guaranteed 100% of your state aid. Obviously, if you dip below that score, that means you're not following best practices the state would like you to follow. And then obviously that could affect your state aid. Please. I don't know if there are any specific questions on any of these items.
In general. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Did we score the same this year as last year? Or did we improve or go down? I don't remember what we got last year.
That's actually a good question. I can double check that for you, but they do change the questions every year, so it could be different. Just based on the type of questions, they're not the exact same every single year. I know this year they have a number of unscored questions as well, which is just data gathering for them.
Gotcha. But we always make the minimum to get the full state aid, correct?
Yes, we have.
Okay. Anybody else?
Yes. General question or comment. Is it possible when you print this thing out, you can print it out?
Unfortunately, I try. Yes, unfortunately I tried. There's the FAST system that the state created for us to complete this in. That's like the best that I can do, other than copying and pasting each one. I can do that though. It would make it easier for you guys to read, but it's just every individual question I'd have to copy.
Well, we all needed to use a magnifying glass basically to read them.
Yeah, exactly.
It's pretty terrible.
And the one question I noticed, apparently they're spending a lot of time on the issue of cybersecurity. And there's one here. Do we belong, apparently, belonging to an organization that provides cyber alerts and training and so forth is probably, I would think, important. We're not in there. Are we in another type of organization other than that? So we get the same benefit?
Yes, and there's certain requirements that statewide has that we have to meet, so yes.
Okay, thank you.
Does anybody else have any other questions about it?
I'm good.
Okay. Moving on to the next item. It's public comment. This is public comment for current agenda items only, limited to 3 minutes per person. Please just come forward and state your name and let us know which agenda item you'd like to address. May I have a motion to open the floor to public comment?
Moved.
Moved by Mr. Sparta. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Rizzuto. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Nope. The floor is open. Is there anyone coming forward? I can only see if they get to a certain point.
No one's come forward. Nobody's coming forward here.
From the public or any hands on Zoom.
Okay. All right, seeing no members from the public that wish to come forward, may I have a motion to close the floor, please? Moved by Ms. Di Benedetto. May I have a second? Second by Mr. Rizzuto. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, the floor is closed. Our next item is the bills list. All council members received a copy of the bills list. Does anyone have any questions or comments upon reviewing it?
Yes. I have a comment. Maybe Mayor can help me out also. The phone services. I've experienced situations where trying to call in, it seemed like the phones, not that they weren't working, but they weren't working. It wasn't like everybody was busy or something. It was just, you went from connection to someplace in Never Land and then gone. Is this typical that what we're having with our phone services? And if so?
We have been having issues with the phone services, and Irene has been in contact with Warwick. They've actually been out to us a couple of times, and she was actually in contact with them again today because we had another issue. So they've come out, they corrected the problem, they left. We've had the problem again. She's been dealing with the same problem for about 2 weeks now. And again, she had them on the phone today. They're supposed to come back out.
And it's a Warwick issue.
I believe it. Is it
Yeah.
possible that, I don't know if you've managed to track it, but when you occasionally have these issues that pop up, do you find that these issues occur during a rainy session, a rainy period?
Not always.
Oh,
It's been happening in the rain, without the rain, and we don't always know when it's happening. We'll find out from the public,
yeah.
but she's been in contact with them the last couple of weeks, and they've been out a couple of times.
Okay. I know that we occasionally have issues. I don't know about you, Howard, but when it rains and when you've had a spate of rain, I can say that I'm gonna have problems.
That's your landline.
Yeah.
Yeah. We very rarely use ours, so we don't really know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we keep it, so.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I actually did have an
Right.
issue today, Tina. I called in and I didn't get the menu. It just rang and rang and rang and rang and rang. And then I called back and I got the menu. I thought it was just a weird, one-off, but if you've been having problems, maybe that. is
And that's
something.
that's what the problem is. Sometimes we even have issues like dialing out, and it's all coming back to Warwick.
Okay. Yeah, that happened to me today.
I've got a question.
Go ahead.
Going back to not this bills list, but the last bills list, did we ever get an answer on that flag, whatever it was, monies? What it was for?
No, actually, I don't think we did. Good
Yes.
reminder, Joe.
So with regards to the flags, they were for they were for flags that were put on telephone poles on the outskirts of town, coming into town at certain locations. It was not for one flagpole or,
Was it holiday flags or
no, they were American flags.
American flags?
Where were they put?
Yeah, where were they put?
I believe somewhere on 517. I do have an official.
14 poles that are approved by the DOT that we bought replacement poles to go on the pole and flags. Because the ones that are up there are pretty worn and we need to be decommissioned properly.
So I don't know if you could hear that because it's from the audience. Dante, the recreation director, is here. She just explained that there were existing flags that were on poles and a lot of them had to be replaced just because they were tattered and torn. So they were replacement flags.
Had it torn and faded also too. Yeah.
Okay. Does anybody have any other questions about the bills list?
I'm good.
Okay. We're good. Moving along, we received a copy of the minutes from the November 27th, 2023 regular meeting. Everyone's had a chance to review that. May I have a motion to approve the November 27, 2023 regular meeting minutes.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Sparta. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Rizzuto. May I have a roll call vote, please?
Councilmember Di Benedetto,
Yes.
Councilmember Rizzuto,
Yes.
Councilmember Sparta,
Yes.
Councilmember Chadwick,
Yes.
Council President Bushieri.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay. Our consent agenda, I will read through all of the resolutions. There's quite a few. And then at the end, if anyone wants to pull something out, let me know. Resolution 23-257, refund of overpayment due to state tax court judgment, Reeves, Block 9, Lot 16. Resolution 23-258, refund overpayment due to state tax court judgment, Reeves, Block 9, Lot 16. Resolution 23-259, refund overpayment due to state tax court judgment, Reeves, Block 9, Lot 16. Resolution 23-260, refund overpayment due to state court judgment, Route 94 Development Corp., Block 607, Lot 43. Resolution 23-261, refund of totally disabled veteran, Block 273, Lot 85, Sinet. Resolution 23-262, canceling taxes for totally disabled veteran, Block 273, Lot 85, Sinet. Resolution 23-263, refund for totally disabled veteran, Block 540, Lot 4, Cucuta. Resolution 23-264, canceling taxes for total disabled veteran, Cucuta, Block 540, Lot 4. Resolution 23-265, refund for totally disabled veteran, Block 490, Lot 6, Canova. Resolution 23-266, canceling taxes for total disabled veteran, Canova, Block 490, Lot 6. Resolution 23-267, canceling taxes for total disabled veteran, Canova, Block 490, Lot 6. Resolution 23-268, refund for totally disabled veteran, Block 355, Lot 17, Lillis. Resolution 23-270, canceling taxes for total disabled veteran, Canova, Block 490, Lot 6. Resolution 23-271, canceling taxes for total disabled veteran, Block 564, Lot 1, Castro Villari. Resolution 23-272, refund for totally disabled veteran, Block 564, Lot 1, Castro Villari. Resolution 23-273, refund for totally disabled veteran, Block 462, Lot 24, Koziel. Resolution 23-274, authorization, authorize the award of an RFQ 10-2023 door access systems in a fair and open manner to Integrated Systems and Services, Inc. Resolution 23-275, resolution amending Resolution 23-162 to update an appointment extending Peter Lamers as judge of the Vernon Township Municipal Court. Resolution 23-276, resolution amending Resolution 2330 to update an appointment extending Alicia Ferranti Esquire as municipal prosecutor. Resolution 23-277, authorizing change order number 1 of contract for proposed improvements of various roads within Vernon Township with Riverview Paving, Inc. Resolution 23-278, resolution authorizing the execution of a shared services agreement between the Township of Vernon and the Township of Hardiston for animal control services. Resolution 23-279, resolution awarding bid for proposed athletic field lighting installation at Veterans Memorial Park. Resolution 23-280, a resolution reappointing Danelle Bright as Chief Financial Officer for Vernon Township. Resolution 23-281, approving active volunteer firefighter for membership in the New Jersey State Firemen's Association, Luke Van Gorder. Resolution 23-282, approving active volunteer firefighter for membership in the New Jersey State Firemen's Association, Eric Van Gorder. Resolution 23-283, approving active volunteer firefighter for membership in the New Jersey State Firemen's Association, Drew Van Gorder. Resolution 23-284, temporary budget debt service. Resolution 23-285, resolution authorizing the cancellation of appropriation reserve balances. Resolution 23-286, resolution authorizing procurement of sports lighting through Sourcewell National Cooperative number 041123 MSL through Musco Sports Lighting LLC. Resolution 23-287, resolution of the Township of Vernon, County of Sussex, State of New Jersey, awarding bid number 12-2023 snow removal bid. Resolution 23-288, authorizing change order number 1 of the contract for proposed improvements of Sand Hill Road within Vernon Township with road safety systems. And resolution 23-289, resolution authorizing the execution of a shared services agreement between the Township of Vernon and the Township of Lafayette for animal control services. Is there any resolution that any council member would like to have removed separately?
Yes. I'd like
Okay.
to have resolution 23-274 separated, as well as resolution 23-287.
Resolution 23-274 and resolution 23-287. Okay,
Yes,
I'd like 23-280 separated.
23-280, 80.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Have 23-279 and 23-286. Pulled out.
23-279 and 23-286. Okay. Anything else? Okay, so let's do the bulk first, and then we'll do the ones that we removed. So, may I have a motion to approve all of the resolutions except 23-274, 23-279, 23-280, 23-287. No, I'm sorry, 23-286, 23-287. Did I get them all, Marcy? Okay. May I have a motion to approve all the resolutions except the ones noted?
Move.
Moved by Ms. Di Benedetto. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Sparta. May I have a roll call vote, please?
Yes. Councilmember Di Benedetto,
Yes.
Councilmember Rizzuto.
Yes.
Councilmember Sparta,
Yes.
Councilmember Tadrick,
Yes.
Council President Bushieri.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, may I have a motion to put on the floor resolution 23-274, authorize the award of an RFQ 10-2023 door access systems in a fair and open manner to Integrated Systems and Services, Inc.
so moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Rizzuto, second by Mr. Sparta. Comments and questions?
Yes. We're talking about our front door and the required connections that fall into place.
Yes. That's what we're replacing.
If I recall, that approximately $50,000. I think maybe 48.
No, the actual bid that we went with, the total was $23,236.
Okay. Either way, is there a problem with the existing system?
This was a project that started before I came on. They were looking to update everything and update the key cards and the actual door mechanical system and the software. So when I came on, I started looking at this back in March, and with the help of it deals with the system downstairs in the police department. We ended up getting a couple of quotes that were off the bid, so we had to go out for an RFQ, and these were the actual people that put in, and that was the better company that we found.
Why do we need it?
I don't know why
As
they,
far as I know, I haven't heard of any break-ins or any
I know that they were looking,
accidental openings or anything.
yeah, they were looking to upgrade because of the issues that we do have with the front door. With the magnet the connection there. And also they were having issues with, I guess, the software, and they wanted to upgrade. It was gonna be an upgrade for all our key cards to get in and out and the access system for the security system.
So is that the issues? I know I experienced an issue in not being able to get into the building a couple times. So is that the issue that you're talking about, or were there issues in addition to that, Tina?
That'll be part of it.
It's that and some other things too. It really hadn't been working properly. And it appears when we've had the current vendors to come out, they just have not been able to fix it.
And the system is old. It's been, the software is old, so to just upgrade that, the whole outside mechanism with all the door would have to be upgraded with it.
So they're not upgrading everything, because when we looked at the bid, they're using some of our current hardware, correct?
Yes.
And, okay. But if the hardware's not working properly, we'll get a change order and they'll have to, it could go up the bill.
That they checked everything when they came out. They checked everything when they were looking at the quote to give us quotes. So those items that are being changed are the items that we were having the issues with.
I think what Mr. Rizzuto is asking is, why are we doing it? We've had some problems with it. Luckily, I think that council members, you may not experience unless you've experienced, I think sometimes you have.
Just once, I only had one time when I wasn't able to access the building on an off weekend.
Right.
And as far as I was concerned, I thought perhaps there might have been another reason why, perhaps, the security had been required elsewhere or something else.
Well, that has been happening quite a bit, much more than it should. In addition, with the software being able to capture from a security standpoint, who comes in, when they come in, what have you, that software is not good. And we needed to upgrade that. It's for $23,000. That's what it is, right?
Yes.
Now, those problems should go away, but that's the reason why.
All right. Just seems to me, as far as using it, I've used it times, any number of times, and I've only had one failure. To me, that could have been done for anything else, and I just didn't know if that's worth $23,000.
Well, one time probably would not have been, but there have been other times. Thank goodness you have not experienced them. The many of us, we've had this more frequent than we should have.
All right.
Yeah, actually, when I think about it, Pat, it happened to me twice. And the second time it happened to me, I called the police department and they had a hard time unlocking it from their end.
Yeah.
They couldn't let me in. They had to literally come up and open the door physically. Oh, I forgot about that second time. Does anyone else have any comments or questions about this? Oh, okay. May I have a roll call vote, please?
Yes. Councilmember Di Benedetto,
Yes.
Councilmember Rizzuto,
Yes.
Councilmember Sparta,
Yes.
Tablet,
Yes.
Council President Bushieri.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay. The next resolution is resolution 23-279, resolution awarding bid for proposed athletic field lighting installation at Veterans Memorial Park. Is it okay if we bundle that with 23-286 and talk
That's
about it
what
at the same
I
time?
was gonna ask if that was all right, because they're kind
Yeah.
of linked.
They're linked. Yeah, they are linked. Is that okay to do that, Josh?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. All right. So we'll be may I have a motion then to put on the floor resolution 23-279 and 23-286.
Moved.
Moved by Mr. Sparta. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Di Benedetto. Comments or questions?
The money for this has been raised over what, 4 cycles,
Yeah, I believe.
3 cycles? And how much money was raised for it?
I think I have over $600,000.
Okay. The thing that just, it concerns me is that we're putting in like $550,000 of lighting down at the flats, but yet we're not covering the big field. I call it the men's softball field. That's what we used to play on. And the alternate bid for that was 124,000, which would have put it over by about $63,000 just on the installation, not on the lights itself. But we don't know how much the lights would have been different. Because there's not a alternate bid on that.
We did have estimates, lights like from Moscow, so the actual equipment. So we had a range that we were expecting to come in for the installation, and it would have put us over if we had done the installation and the lights for that. That being said, I do have, obviously, everything's contingent on next year's budget, but I do have additional funds put aside so that we can do that one for next year.
Okay, now the installation of these lights, what type of controls are gonna be? Cause I can remember 30 years ago going to the breaker box and turning the breaker on and they'd be on until 2 o'clock in the morning, so.
So I can't speak to that specifically. We can find out more information exactly. Get all the specs for this and how exactly they work. We can speak to Moscow, so I can get that.
And I actually spoke to Mayor Burrell about this last year when we started looking at this. When you look at the playing field, is there by any chance a way to get a light pole over by the horseshoe pits? Because I know they actually rent a tower or bring a tower in towards the end of their season for their championships and playoffs and stuff like that. And, they keep that place down there really well. They cover their boxes up and so on and so forth. So I don't want to spend $50,000 on a light pole, but if we can do something while we're down there.
Yeah, that's something we can speak to Corey about as well, and just he can maybe give us a rough estimate and see if we want to include that in.
It might be as easy as on Belfield on one of the towers, putting lights facing towards the, I don't know. I'm not a lighting engineer, but just a little piece of history too, if people don't know, Mr. Rizzuto probably knows this one. But the lights currently at the flats came from the 1973 renovation of Yankee Stadium. A little bit of history there.
Wow. So maybe we can like sell them on eBay and get some money back.
You might be able to eBay them out.
You know what? Hey, Didelle, write that down.
Now to municipal, just like that.
Little
That's
piece of
all.
history right there.
Thank you.
Any other questions? All right, may I have a roll call vote for resolution 23-279 and 23-286.
Moved. Oh, you roll call? Sorry.
Roll call, right? Yeah,
My
no.
bad, yeah.
Councilmember Di Benedetto,
Yes.
Councilmember Rizzuto,
Yes,
Councilmember Sparta.
Yes.
Councilmember Tadrick,
Yes,
Council President Pieri.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, resolution 23-280, a resolution reappointing Danelle Bright as Chief Financial Officer for Vernon Township. May I have a motion to put that resolution on the floor, please?
Moved.
Moved by, who was that? Brad?
Marta, yep.
Okay, may I have a second?
yeah.
Second by Mr. Rizzuto. Okay, any comments or questions? Mr. Tadrick, do you have a comment or question? Because I think you were the one who pulled this out.
no, I thought it was important. I
To
thought it
vote
was important
separately.
enough to vote on
Okay.
it separately. That's all.
I agree.
Good call.
All right, congratulations, Ms. Bright. May I have a roll call vote, please?
Councilmember Di Benedetto,
Yes.
Councilmember Rizzuto,
Yes,
Councilmember Sparta,
Yes.
Councilmember Tadrick,
Sure.
Council President Bushieri.
Yes,
Motion carries.
thank you. Okay.
Yes.
Resolution 23-287. Resolution of the Township of Vernon, County of Sussex, State of New Jersey, awarding bid number 12, 2023 snow removal bid. May I have a motion to put that on the floor, please?
Moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Rizzuto, second by Mr. Sparta. Any comments or questions?
You wanna go or?
Once in a while, you get an issue that comes up where out of the blue, you start getting calls from the public. And on this particular situation, I did receive some comments from some of the vendors after the last meeting, and then followed up with subsequent calls from members of the public, totally different. And it seems that there were certain issues that were continually pointed out to me relative to the passage of the bid process, which I questioned, or they questioned, whether or not the information that was given to us was totally accurate. Now, that may be as a result of just certain comments that were made, but here are a couple of things that were brought to my attention. One, that the accompaniment of the route trucks by an independent rider or somebody in a car is going to be required. It's also the release of the trucks from the depot would be at the I guess at the dead demand of the person who was involved with the group doing the plowing in those particular areas. Three, the type of trucks that are being used, while the specific specifications designated, like, for example, a Class B or a Class C, that wasn't available, so an alternate class truck was used. Some of the costs involved in this were significantly higher than had been previously thought they would be, so that in the end, individual township or individual communities, lake communities and so forth, spending a lot more than they would have been as compared to the previous year. There were just so many issues that kept popping up that, I understand that sometimes there are people who may not be happy with the results and feel somewhat, like they have to say something, but there were just too many and too many different issues that came up. And I'm wondering what kind of qualified experts, if you want to call it that, sat at your table when these specifications were developed and when they were and when they were awarded, developed with the bidders.
So we went through a number of meetings that we had with our DPW director staff to ensure that our bid specs made sense. We also went through the specifications for each community, because each one of the communities that we went out to bid for is different. So we made sure to include not only the length of roadway, but also some characteristics of those communities so that those contractors bidding on them would understand them. We did send out the bids to the existing contractors that those communities used. Two of those contractors would be awarded tonight. And they had been in those communities before, so they understand what those communities are using. The third contractor has not been in those specific communities, but they are able to show that they have experience, which is why they would be qualified or a qualified bid.
When you sat with these people Did you at any time game a major event, snow event? In terms of saying, okay, we're going to release trucks at 12 o'clock in midday. And we're snow is falling at the rate of about an inch an hour. And we already have an inch on the ground and temperatures are falling and blah, blah, and set off your parameters and see how those trucks and those people would work.
So, okay, so okay, this is gonna come out wrong. That is our next step when we meet with the contractors that are awarded the bid. Where we go over those scenarios and we go over exactly how things are going to work. Because essentially what's happened in the past is that the lake communities, if they were their contractors, right? So if you had a contractor, they answered to lake communities, they called them in, that contractor made those decisions.
Right.
In this situation, the contractor is working for the township. So the township is making those decisions. The DPW director, his staff are making those decisions. And there's constant communication between the two of them. We have a meeting scheduled with them on Wednesday, provided this gets adopted tonight. Or say approved tonight, and then we would move forward on those kind of worst case scenarios so that we're all on the same page. The experience that our DPW has, they know what to expect during a storm. They plow similar roads, obviously not the roads in Highland Lakes, but they plow some of the main roads that are in Highland Lakes that are owned by the township. Same situation in those other lake communities, right? The idea is that we have that, I don't want to say brainstorming session, it would be kind of mesh out exactly how it's going to work when we meet once they're awarded.
I think Pat asked some of the questions I was gonna ask, but do you have any, obviously there's a history with some of these contractors, so where do these rates for this compared to what they paid the lake communities in the past?
So the one contractor, Spidell and Sons, is less than what was paid in the past for those communities. And the other two are higher per hour, but there are certain things that are not going to be included in this. So it does say, we had a meeting today about a loader and whether or not we were going to stage salt and grit in those areas. It's our decision right now that it would actually save significant money, having them come down and refill during storms the way our existing trucks do. Right now, for example, if they're using a loader at these communities, they're being charged for the full length of the storm. So if the storm is 24 hours, they're being charged 24 hours for use of that loader, despite there not being an operator, or maybe there is. That's not necessarily necessary when we can have it loaded here for $28, $30 an hour.
Okay, so when this whole thing came about, I don't know, 4 or 6 weeks ago, whenever we talked about that, we were told that this was gonna be saving money over the lake communities, but you just said the rates are gonna be more than what they were last year. Some, not all, some.
So you have to consider saving in perspective. It was not just the cost of snow that the lake communities, the township was previously paying prior to our litigation. So prior to the litigation, the township was paying 20% administrative costs. They were paying 20% above existing labor costs for equipment costs because they were using FEMA reimbursement rates. They asked us to pay for street sweeping costs, which was astronomical. They asked us to pay for additional road obstruction removals. There was a lot more that went into this and I believe this 48% costs for benefits calculations, which again is also not accurate. There were a lot more than just an hourly rate for snow removal.
Okay. So thank you for forwarding me the bid spec today. I wrote down notes here on the bid spec, so just give me a minute as I scroll through. They're in yellow, so it should go pretty quickly. So we have like Highland Lakes has 8 Class B trucks and 3 Class C trucks, but it is $2.25 an hour per truck, correct?
So in order to bid, they needed to have those available to them. That does not mean that they are going to bring.
Okay, but if they have 4 trucks out, it's $2.25 an hour per truck.
Per truck, correct.
The salt, you mentioned about them coming down and filling up. You know, I always like to trust people, but how do we ensure that that salt's going where it's supposed to go?
So we actually have more control doing it this way than it was in the past. In the past, the contractors came down, they would fill up and then they would just pile it up there. And there was no way for us to really determine where that salt went. By doing this, we have more control over it and we know exactly what's needed up there.
Okay.
Or I should say out there, wherever those communities are.
The supervision that Mr. Rizzuto spoke about, you know, it's in the bid here, it's 2.5 supervision, and it talks about an additional person and an additional vehicle, but yet that's not in the bid. Are we not doing any type of supervision or?
The supervision, the contact is between the director, the assistant director, and whoever their super.
But there's got to be a rate for that, no?
No, their rate is $225 an hour for those two contractors.
Supervision included?
Supervision, that's what they bid on.
So the supervision is within that 225, even though it's an extra person and an extra vehicle, they're not, because they're not supposed to be plowing or riding along, correct?
I would have to check the.
It says the contractor shall provide a supervisor to supervise their crew and act as a liaison to the DPW management and staff as detailed in section 2.15. The superintendent shall have a separate vehicle to allow for continuous monitoring of the operation of contractors' equipment. They shall not be permitted to ride along, in quotes, in or be considered as an operator of a plow vehicle. So to me, that would be an extra $225 an hour. Because it's another vehicle that's out there.
That would be something we discuss with the contractor.
And I mean, honestly, to me, I would tend to think that you would want to have a DPW supervisor out looking at.
That's actually how when we put that together, that is how I read that bid. So when you read it as if it was the contractor, I read it as our supervisor, our superintendent.
It should be ours. I mean, and because
We're the ones who are monitoring it.
they're the ones that are going to re-release the people, correct? Hold on. All the trucks at the time of the bid be appropriately registered. Were they inspected by anybody in the town to see if they were properly registered or in ownership of the contractors or no?
We did not inspect the trucks, no, but they're required in order to bid, that has to be accurate. So if for some reason they didn't have those, then
It's part of the bid qualification.
Yeah, I mean, it says right here, that has to be bid be appropriately registered. So I would tend to think that somebody from the town should have checked to see if those were actually registered.
I will reach out to the contractors to get copies of their registration.
The supplemental equipment we just covered, that's not a big deal. Certification of truck and equipment registration, it's kind of the same thing as before, 3.3. Now, this makes absolutely totally no sense to me, so you have to explain it to me. You have Lake Glenwood that has 1.7 miles of road with 4 trucks allocated to it. Have you ever been on Lake Glenwood Road? You could fit 1 car on it.
I have not. It's that you have to have 4 trucks available. That road is very, very difficult to plow. And our concern was that if one or 2 trucks went down, we needed to make sure they had backfill. We couldn't accept a contractor that only had 2 vehicles.
But then it doesn't make any sense because Lake Panorama has 4.7 miles of road, but there's only 2 trucks there.
Because we based it on what they used in the past.
Well, I believe there was only 1 truck ever used in Lake Glenwood, because I think only 1 person ever plowed it, because you can't fit anything more in there, so.
Again, but our concern was,
And lastly, and I don't think I marked this down, I believe in the bid, from what I read, that since the DPW is releasing the people to come in and so on and so forth. I think it said in here that the DPW kind of almost reserves the right to send trucks to other locations if needed. Is that? No? Because the thing that I would be concerned of is what would prevent you from always sending out the cheapest trucks first to fill in all over. Like, let's just say it's a salting event. And you don't need to bring in, all the contractors for it. You could just use the lowest contractor. I have to go back and see where that was, because I'm almost positive it says that the DPW deserves a right to deploy where they see fit. And I
so
didn't,
these contractors bid on specific communities. So their bid award is specific for that community. We can't send them to another.
Okay. And it's a 3-year contract. There's no escalation in there. There was one other one, actually. I think it was with the registration. It said section 3.2 have current and valid registrations and that the same shall remain for the life of the contract. Are you asking them to ensure that all the trucks will remain operable for 3 years?
Each year, they're going to have to ensure that they're registered and remain operable.
Because it says that the bid submission that the equipment listed in 3.2. So you're just referring to the current valid registrations. You're not referring to the actual physical piece of equipment.
No, the current valid registrations.
Okay. Okay, that's all I got.
On a tangent situation regarding counting these projects, jobs, but other in the township, because they can be identified with specific locations. We have, I know I mentioned this before, and I believe you said you were working job-based, so that you could literally tell us how much plowing Lake Conway cost, you know, for the event that took place on December 27th. And, you know, and what it broke down to in terms of number of people, how much the hours were, you know, the wages were, what we paid, and the amount of money that was dedicated to insurance, how much was dedicated to you know, maintenance, repairs, and so forth. Are we working towards that type of a job-based performance database?
So we do have the capabilities of our existing timekeeping software to do project-based timekeeping. We have not done that, but we are capable of doing it.
Is there a reason why, or is it only simply because the administration has chosen not to?
I think the amount of time that it would take in order to do that and to have employees do that, I just think that would take a significant amount of time. That's something that administration can definitely explore, just to see, you know, what we can kind of set up just so that it's, especially for something like plowing. If you know, we know the specific routes for individuals, so we can calculate that.
Well, I mean, the thing is, what you don't want to see, at least I would rather not see, is we have 5 trucks in for heavy maintenance in May, June. And why are they off the road? Because they can't be doing sweeping up and picking up grit and stuff like that. And you're saying, well, because they had a heavy winter. So how much of that winter effort is being charged to those trucks? Is it 70% of their maintenance schedule? Is it, you know, more, 60%, 50%, or what? I think Mr. Sparta, who, you know, at my, I kind of just avoid stuff with computer, but he told me that you can buy, you know, ready
Management
software.
Yeah, so the software that we just purchased for, stormwater, the word for the MS4
Stormwater?
requirements.
Stormwater.
That software enabled us to expand what we were capable of doing. Before it was just simple work orders. We're now able to track by departments within the DPW, and track hours worked, individuals that handled them. That included all of the mechanics and all of the fleet maintenance that we can now track per vehicle. So that is something that is in the works, because we just got that software over the summer, so.
Okay, because I can remember when I asked the mayor, and I know Mr. Tadrick did, and some other members of the public, when they were talking about how much it cost the township for use of DPW at the completing the requirements at the pump track and the walking trail. There was not hesitation, but a number of differing numbers that came up, only because it hadn't been entered into the system yet. But even then, when you begin to look at it, if you're using your own trucks, what percentage of amortization of insurance are you putting on that? What are you putting on in replacement costs or repair costs as a percentage of the total? It's a big program, and I would imagine that having that being able to be broken out also allows the administration to come up with an answer by, as of this date, please give me a cost, and everything is just broken out. You don't have to worry about doing it longhand, so to speak. I think if I could recommend to the incoming administration, perhaps one change that we could work parallel with, longhand, and then working with these other programs, seeing if we could develop, a response to the public on costs using that type of account based, you think of the word, following of the total cost, breaking it down.
If I could I think we're getting a little off of the resolution that's on the table.
All right, well, I have another question has to do with snow. So is that considered off base or no?
Depends on what you're asking about, how much snow is gonna fall this year or how it's gonna be
No.
cloud.
So do we have a cost per mile for snow removal that we use within town?
It changes every year.
Well,
No, like-
it should change every year, but.
Yeah, it changes every year based on how much snow and how much salt, and like everything that we use.
So if we doing repairs on trucks in the summer, are we allocating some of that to winter maintenance?
So we do not have we've never had a separate line for winter maintenance.
Oh, you don't?
No.
Yeah, maybe we should talk about this more later if you guys want to.
All right.
Sorry. Does anyone else have any other questions regarding the resolution? No? Okay, may I have a roll call vote?
Councilmember Di Benedetto,
Yes.
Councilmember Rizzuto,
Yes.
Councilmember Sparta,
I want to see me get plowed out, so yes.
Councilmember Tadrick,
Yes.
Council President Bushieri.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay. The next item is a public hearing for a second reading of ordinances. Ordinance 23-21, an ordinance of the Township of Vernon, County of Sussex, State of New Jersey, adding Chapter 13, Cannabis Establishment Licensing and Regulation to the Township Code, establishing local annual cannabis licenses for all cannabis establishments to operate in the township pursuant to the New Jersey Cannabis Regulatory Enforcement Assistance and Marketplace Modernization Act. May I have a motion to open the public hearing for ordinance 23-21?
Moved.
Motion made by Mr. Rizzuto. May I have a second? Second by
Second.
Mr. Sparta. All in favor?
All right.
Aye. Any opposed? No? Okay, the floor is open. If any member of the public wishes to share a comment regarding ordinance 23-21, please step forward.
You're free from people.
Okay, is there anybody on Zoom,
No,
Marcy?
I don't have any hands up.
Okay, may I have a motion to close the floor?
Second.
Moved by Di Benedetto, second by Sparta. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The floor is closed. May I have a motion to adopt ordinance 23-21?
Moved.
Moved by Mr. Sparta. May I have a second?
Second,
Second by Mr. Rizzuto. May I have a roll call vote?
Councilmember Di Benedetto,
Yes.
Councilmember Rizzuto,
yes.
Councilmember Sparta,
Yes.
Councilmember Tadrick,
Yes.
Council President Bushieri.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay. Ordinance 2323, bond ordinance providing for the improvement of the water supply and distribution system in and by the Township of Vernon in the County of Sussex, New Jersey, appropriating $2 million therefore and authorizing the issuance of $1,448,445 in bonds or notes of the township for financing such appropriation. May I have a motion to open the public hearing for ordinance 2323?
Moved,
Moved
Second.
by Mr. Rizzuto, second by Mr. Sparta. All in favor?
aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The floor is open. Is there any member in person or virtually in the public that wishes to comment on ordinance 2323? No?
Nobody from the public, and I don't have any hands up.
Okay. All right. May I have a motion to close the floor, please?
Second.
Moved by Di Benedetto and second by Sparta.
Yep.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
Aye.
Okay, the floor is closed. May I have a motion to adopt ordinance 2323?
Moved.
Moved by Mr. Sparta. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Di Benedetto. May I have a roll call vote, please?
I have a
Councilmember,
question first.
oh,
Oh, sure,
sorry.
yep, go ahead. Sorry.
This is for Josh. In a case of an abstention, what does that mean? Because we've had that issue before, we know.
This particular case, because the statute requires 4 affirmative votes, an abstention will be considered a no.
Okay, thanks.
Anybody else have a question? All right, roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Di Benedetto,
Yes.
Councilmember Rizzuto,
Yes,
Councilmember Sparta,
Yes.
Councilmember Tadrick,
Yes.
Council President Bushieri.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Ordinance 2324, an ordinance to amend chapter number 148 Animal Control Dog Licensing of the revised ordinances of the Township of Vernon by amending Article 3 Animal Control Dog Licensing, Section 148-26 Regulation of Dogs. May I have a motion to open the public hearing for ordinance 2324? Moved by Ms. Di Benedetto. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Sparta. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The floor is open to the public. Does anyone wish to come forward and share a comment regarding ordinance 2324? Any there? Anyone there, Marcy?
No one from the public, nobody online.
Okay, may I have a motion to close the floor? Moved by Ms. Di Benedetto. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Sparta. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Nope. All right. May I have a motion to adopt ordinance 2324?
Moved.
Moved by Mr. Sparta. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Di Benedetto. Any questions or comments? Okay, may I have a roll call vote?
Councilmember Di Benedetto,
Yes.
Councilmember Rizzuto,
yes,
Councilmember Sparta,
Yes.
Councilmember Tadrick,
Yes.
Council President Bushieri.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Public comment. This second public comment time is for any topic. It does not have to be agenda related. If someone wishes to come forward and speak, simply just state your name. May I have a motion to open the floor?
Moved.
Moved by Mr. Sparta. May I have a second?
second,
Second by Mr. Rizzuto. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The floor is open to the public. Is there anyone in person?
They're starting to move.
Come on.
Yes, there is.
I guess I addressed, excuse me, Stephen Dunlop, I guess I addressed my comments to the invisible Miss Buccieri.
Turn
Yeah.
around, look at TV.
Hi, Steve.
A couple of things. First of all, there's been a lot of discussion about the reorganization meeting and what the proper date is for the reorganization meeting. I was looking at Assembly number 5175 from the state of New Jersey, 220th legislature, introduced February 9th, was approved in June. And it clearly stated in item number 18, if I can get there. Notwithstanding any other provision of law, the governing body of the municipality of which any of the members of the governing body are elected for terms commencing on January 1st, may fix the date and time of the reorganization meeting at 12 o'clock noon on January, for some reason left blank, but sometime on the day during the first week of January. There's been some research, there's been comments on Facebook. I don't know how much of it is accurate. I understand the Newton, Sparta, and Rockaway are doing it the 2nd and the 4th. And it just seems so clear. I'm not an attorney, but just trying to figure out why we're doing it the 15th. Our mayor's term is supposed to expire December 31st. We've always done it January 1st. I look forward to coming here on the 1st of January, having the reorganization, appointing the officers. And I'm just wondering what's changed based on this legislation from February. And you'll
Council President, if I may, I'll
I was
briefly
gonna ask you, yeah, please.
answer the
Thanks,
question.
Josh.
So after section 18, there are two amendments in section 19 and section 20. If you look at those two amendments, 19 and 20, those two amendments are what fix the reorganization date for nonpartisan Faulkner Act communities such as Vernon to January 15th. The League of Municipalities put out a bulletin. The League of Municipalities lobbied against this becoming law for this exact reason. And there's been some discussion as well about whether this is determined by a runoff or not. There's no mention of runoff in any of the legislation. The statutes cited in 19 and 20 relate to the Faulkner Act and nonpartisan elections. So unfortunately, the state and Governor Murphy decided to change the date to the 15th. And that's I don't know why they chose to do that. It seems to be that it was short-sighted given the reaction to citizens, but that's, unfortunately what the amendments did.
Fair enough. My second point is probably not going to be well received, but I feel it needs to be said. We terminated the services of our BA, and due to the appearance of the inability of our mayor to run the town for 90 days, we appointed the CFO and the chief of police to act as our BA for 90 days. And I've just sit here for at least 20 minutes, maybe 30, talking about contracts, and our BA never said a word. All the comments came from our chief financial officer. I do find it somewhat curious that our BA wasn't the one making this presentation. I would have thought that that would be the person that would be doing it. There's been a lot of talk about attendance and the time that people spend in the office. I know my experience with the CFO has been less than positive in that regard. I think the mayor has run a pretty loose ship, and I think the BA has maybe not made the changes that I would have thought would have been made. Our hours are supposed to be 8:30 to 4, which is quite generous, a 35-hour work week. I never had one. Our CFO has a lot of responsibility. She also has the MUA to deal with. It was whispered that she was working for another township. I did some digging around and investigating, and it appears that she's also the CFO for Waterford Township. I don't know if that's accurate or not, but I know that it showed on their website that she was. I looked at a posting they had for the job, and they said it was a part-time job, and they said that they were willing to look into doing a shared services. I would hope that the new incoming mayor will maybe run a little tighter ship and expect people to be here, and that he may look at changing that arrangement so that it is a shared services. We had a situation at the school board where our BA was also the BA at the charter school. And he would actually go over there and write invoices and then come over here and approve them and pay them. So he was constantly changing his hat. I don't know that we have any way of monitoring what our chief financial officer is working on, whether it be MUA, Waterford Township. So I just hope our new incoming mayor and whoever the BA is will maybe follow the rules a little better and see that we do have the attendance that we're supposed to have by our staff. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Dunlop. Is there anyone else in person?
Yep, a couple more people.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Flango, the president of the Vernon Chamber of Commerce, owner of Executive Insurance. And I was on the beautification and the recreation committees. And I wanted to say a few words to Mayor Burrell. Mayor Burrell, you are a remarkable leader who has dedicated years of tireless service to our community. As we bid farewell to our esteemed mayor, we reflect on the countless ways in which you have shaped and enriched our town. Throughout your tenure, Mayor Burrell, you have exemplified unwavering dedication, compassion, and a deep commitment to the well-being of our citizens. Your leadership has sparked positive change, fostering a spirit of unity and progress that will endure for generations to come. Under your guidance, our town has flourished despite the challenges of the pandemic and given us a shared sense of purpose. From completing the pump track to champion important social causes, being designated a healthy town, the water and sewer, and the new pump station, Mayor Burrell, you have left an indelible mark on our collective journey, inspiring us to strive for a brighter future. Beyond your political achievements, Mayor Burrell, you have been a friend and advocate to all, embodying the values of integrity, empathy, and humility. Your genuine concern for each individual in our community has touched hearts and transformed lives, leaving an enduring legacy of kindness and understanding. As we express our deepest gratitude to you, Mayor Burrell, let us also celebrate the profound impact you have made on our town. Your selfless contributions have set a standard of excellence that will continue to guide us as we navigate the path ahead. Mayor Burrell, as you embark on your new adventures, please know that your legacy will forever be etched in the fabric of our town. Your unwavering spirit and dedication have inspired us all, and your absence will be deeply felt. We extend our heartfelt thanks and best wishes for your future, knowing that your influence will endure as a beacon of hope and unity. Thank you, Mayor Burrell, for your extraordinary service and your enduring commitment to our community. We are forever grateful. May you continue to inspire and uplift wherever your journey may lead you.
Thank you, Stephanie.
Thank you.
Good evening, council. Thank you for this opportunity. Madam President, I hope you feel better.
Thank you.
I would like to publicly just show my sincere appreciation first to Mr. Solinsky for the 7 years we served together, for your guidance. You got us by some really tough times with the Mountain Creek bankruptcy and the Silver Spruce landfill. So thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Mayor Burrell, you are a gentleman. And even when we disagreed, we always found room for common ground. You are a professional, and I thank you so much. And with both of you gentlemen, it's more than a professional relationship. It has become a friendship. Thank you so much for all you've given to this town. Thank you very much.
Take care.
Thank you.
Girl, you have opened up your heart and your honest to my child. And as a token of our friendship.
Thank you.
I would thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
We thank you for all that you've done for our township. We appreciate it that you've done, and we wish you the best on your journey, and we will stay in touch.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else from the public? I have,
Yes,
oh. Sorry.
we've recruited him to try to join the beautification committee.
I think this.
Thank you. Oh, wow.
That's cute.
Thanks.
Thank you so very much.
Oh, that's really nice. Very nice. Is there anyone else? Anyone virtually, Marcy?
Yes. I have Martin O'Donnell.
Okay. Mr. O'Donnell?
Good evening, everybody. You'll have to excuse the cough. I'm pretty sure I'm just as sick as Miss Bucheri is. Just want to say thank you to Mayor Burrell for all his support of paid when he first came into office there in reference to the dumping in town. And also thank him for always putting Vernon first, not having an agenda. And also, you know, everybody knows how tough it is to be in holding office in this town. There's always somebody that's putting a target on your back. And I want to thank him for keeping his professionalism along the way under fire. And I think that's just great. And also thank you for your commitment to our country and your support in the military. I also, in addition to that, just have to say one thing. I love the idea of selling the lights. I think that's a great thing. I have friends who would love to have a light from Yankee Stadium lighting up their backyard. So I think you might be able to gain some revenue in that to put towards the lights that you're putting in there.
I don't know if there's any authentication certificates for them.
We can work
If you-
something up, Brad. We'll figure it out.
There's got to be a couple emails saying that they're donating them to you, though, and that should be enough.
I don't think there was emails back in 73.
1973.
How about letters? Come on, we have to have typewritten letters. Maybe on like an IBM Selectric or something. Anyway, thank you.
Anybody else, Marcy?
I don't have any other hands up.
Okay. All right, seeing no other members of the public that wish to come forward, may I have a motion to close the floor?
Moved.
Moved by Mr. Sparta. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Rizzuto. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
Aye.
No? Okay. All right, our next topic is mayor's comments. I do want to preface that just very quickly, and I don't know if everyone in the public knows, but last week our mayor was recognized as Mayor of the Year by the Sussex County Mayor's Reception by the Economic Development Symposium. So that is a great honor for him, and I just want to congratulate him on that and wish him well. And I am sorry that I couldn't be there for your last meeting, Mayor, but thank you for representing us at that meeting last week and representing Vernon well and giving that, you know, our town that honor by being Mayor of the Year. Congratulations.
Thank you. Madam Council President and other distinguished council members, and other members of the Vernon family. Today is a bittersweet day for me. For it marks the last time that I will have the honor formally speaking to you at a council meeting as your mayor. While serving as your mayor during these past 4 years has for sure at times been very challenging. However, it has also at times been extremely rewarding. Even during those times when those who disagreed with me expressed that disagreements in words and tones that were less than polite and were sometimes outright brutal and hurtful. Even during those times, I never felt alone or forsaken. I always knew that I had the love and support of my wonderful wife, Reba, plus the support of a large and growing number of good, kind, and caring people that populate this great township. So when the political rivers were deep, I did not falter. When the political mountains were high, I still believed. And when the political valleys were low, they did not stop me, because I knew that I was doing the right thing for you and for our town. And I knew that so many of you were there for me. While I have not solved every issue that has come my way, nor have I solved every issue to my 100% satisfaction, it is my hope that the majority of Vernon residents can look at my 4 years of service and say that at no time were they embarrassed that I was representing them as their mayor. In fact, it is my hope that the great majority of Vernon residents were very proud that I was representing them as their mayor. And as in the case with all political and civic leaders who served for a 4-year period, my 4 years have been filled with its highs and its lows. Let me share with you just 10 of the notable things that I'm very proud to have been a part of as mayor. Number one, the positive, non-combative, civil, and professional way that the council and I led our town during the years of 2020 through 2021. I'm especially proud of how we joined together with our outstanding municipal staff and other members of the Vernon family to keep our spirits and optimism high, to keep our hope alive, to keep our mental and emotional heads above water, and to minimize the overall negative impact of the dreadful COVID-19 virus on our daily lives. During those dark and uncertain and fearful years that characterized the early period of the COVID-19 pandemic. I'm sure you all remember those awful times. Number two, working close with the council and the Vernon MUA to implement a plan to use the $2.2 million in local fiscal recovery funds to invest in improving and developing the critically needed water infrastructure in our town center. Number three, working close with the council to bring into existence a new municipal park to serve the residents of Vernon Township, that being the new town center municipal park, of which is anchored by 2 highly used amenities. One, a walking trail, a portion of which has Americans with Disabilities Act approval, and the other, a state-of-the-art bicycle pump track. This was a notable achievement in part because the new town center municipal park is only the 3rd municipal park in the 231-year history of our 70 square mile town. That's the home of over 23,000 plus residents. Number 4, working close with our Congressman Josh Gottheimer to obtain $3.5 million in federal funds for the specific purpose of enabling Vernon to make additional sewer system connections within our town's current sewer system area. These additional sewer connections will aid in the development of commercial establishments that will A, help to stabilize taxes for the entire township, B, provide the local availability of many of the goods and services that Vernon residents want and need, And C, help to create a functional town center. Number 5, working close with our state senator, Steve Orho, to obtain a $100,000 grant from the New Jersey Department of Community Affairs for the purpose of conducting a deep bore testing at the Wallace illegal landfill. This testing is necessary for us to understand the extent of the problem that Mr. Wallace has created on this property and to formulate a plan to remediate any found levels of toxicity to acceptable residential levels. Number 6, the initiation of our town's first annual 9/11 Remembrance Ceremony. When I became mayor in 2020, I was shocked to learn that Vernon did not host its own 9/11 Remembrance Ceremony. The shock was intensified by the knowledge that included in the nearly 3,000 lives that were taken so cruelly on the 11th day of September were 3 Vernon residents. It pleases me greatly that I was part of starting this new tradition of an annual 9/11 Remembrance Ceremony in our town, and that I was able to successfully work with others to obtain a seedling from the 9/11 survivor tree that we used to establish the foundation for a permanent Vernon Township 9/11 Remembrance Memorial. Number 7, the first official public hosting and lighting of a menorah in the 231-year history of our town to celebrate the 9-day Hanukkah holiday. I was humbled by being given the honor of lighting the first candle of the menorah at this positive historic event. Number 8, Vernon Township being selected as the 24th safest municipality in the US in 2020. This was a very credible selection that was based on FBI crime statistics that were weighted for individual states and municipalities. Number 9, after 6 years of working hard to meet the rigorous standards of the New Jersey Healthcare Quality Institute, in 2022, Vernon became one of only 14 towns in the entire state of New Jersey to earn the prestigious honor of being recognized as a 2022 New Jersey Healthy Town. This award was important to me because it contributed to my 4-year efforts to make Vernon an even better town in which to live and raise a family. And finally, number 10, as Vernon and our nation began to emerge from the fearful, negative, dark, and uncertain period of the COVID years of 2020, I believe that it would be beneficial to our vast township that covers 70 square miles and is divided into several different communities with 8 different zip codes. I believe that it would be beneficial to our vast township if we had one clear, unified municipal symbol that bonded and identified us all as residents. With the advice, help, and guidance of our Director of Community Affairs, Mrs. Michelle Downtain, Municipal Economic Development Advisory Committee Chair, Ms. Jennifer Loveliner, and Economic Development Advisory Committee member, Dr. Nicholas Pyro, I selected a municipal symbol that was commissioned and designed at no cost to the taxpayers by a Vernon Township graphic designer. The municipal symbol is the blue and gold V town logo that builds on the success and legacy of the V design that our school district has used so well as a community unifying symbol. This municipal symbol also embodies the blue and gold colors that our town already identifies with, from our town schools and recreational teams colors to colors used on our town's police cars. This unifying symbol has become a part of our municipal signs. It is used on all municipal literature and publications. It is featured in the center of the municipality's 230th year anniversary flag that's actually displayed on the wall in the entry to the municipal center. And it is proudly posted on the wall, as you can see back here, of the municipal courtroom where we host some of our most important events. Over these past years, you've heard me repeatedly say that our many volunteers are the heart and soul of some of our most important quality of life community organizations. That our many volunteers are the backbone of much of what our town does in the way of making Vernon a better place to live and to raise a family. That the key to Vernon's widely recognized ability to provide a high volume and a high quality of community services in a cost-effective and efficient manner is due directly to our large number of community volunteers and our civic organizations. While to some, these statements might seem like simply cliches, but they are not. I made these statements because they are based on facts. So I take one more opportunity to thank our volunteer firefighters, to thank our volunteer EMS service members, to thank our volunteers on the beautification committee, to thank our volunteers on the Board of Recreation, the Senior Citizen Committee, the Land Use Board, the Economic Development Advisory Committee, the MUA, the Environmental Commission, the Town Center Pump Track Committee, and all of the other volunteers that serve our town in so many ways. It is said that the heart of a volunteer is never measured in size, but by the depth of the volunteer's commitment to make a difference in the lives of others. As the Vernon volunteers, I can tell you, I found this to be a statement that's absolutely true. To Mayor-elect Rossi, I want you to know that you are about to inherit a small, but mostly outstanding group of dedicated, hardworking, and talented employees. I have little doubt that you, as I did, will quickly find that they are highly credentialed and trained. They are very professional and extremely proud of the work that they do for the municipality. Just as they have been for me and for all previous mayors, they will be the underpinnings. They will be the structural support of any success that you have in serving the residents of our town. These past 4 years have not only been a wonderful civic, but also a wonderful family period in my life. Before my mother passed from this life in December of 2021, at the age of 95, she told me several times how proud she was to see one of her sons respected enough by the people of his town to elect him as their mayor. You see, my mother was a single mother with just an 8th grade education who lived and raised 3 boys in the deep South state of Mississippi at a time that the state had the well-earned reputation of being the most difficult and the most dangerous place in America for people of African descent to live. These conditions under which she lived and raised me and my brothers never gave her no reason to even dream that one of her offspring would have such an opportunity and honor that I've had. So I thank the people of Vernon Township for enabling me to provide this sense of pride and joy to my mother. In closing, I'll tell you that during the over 43 years that Reba and I have lived in beautiful Vernon Township, I have also had the honor and privilege of being able to serve constituents as a member of our town's Board of Education, as a member of our town's council, as a member of our county's Board of Commissioners, and as an assistant director in our state's Department of Labor and Workforce Development. However, the voters' decision to elect me as one of only 4 individuals in the 231-year history of our town who have been directly elected by the people of Vernon to serve as their mayor has been one of the most cherished honors that I've ever had. So on today, I say, as mayor, goodbye, and thank you, Vernon Township. That is my comments. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Thank you.
I will say a mom never stops being proud of her children. We'll move on to council comments. Start with Ms. Di Benedetto. Do you have any comments?
I want to congratulate Mayor Burrell on Mayor of the Year and thank you for your service to our town.
Thank you.
Hey, Natalie?
Yep, Mr. Sparta, sorry.
That's okay, no problem. I've known Mayor Burrell for the 43 years that he's lived here and went to school with his daughter and never had Mrs. Burrell as a teacher, but she was a phenomenal teacher in our district and served our community well as well. So I wish both of you lots of joy as you move on and lots of peace as you move on. I think we could all use that from time to time. And I want you to enjoy your children, your grandchildren. And I know Andre loves having you come down and watch his kids play sports. So
Yes.
Best of luck to both of you and happy holidays to the entire community. That's it.
Thank you, Mr. Sparta. Mr. Tadrick?
Yeah, this is my last meeting as well. I've been in this town 40 years this year, 30 of which combined with land use and zoning. It's been one heck of a ride. It's been real interesting this last year and a couple months. More good than bad. To Mayor Burrell, I wish you the best of luck in the future, and I'm sure you'll be doing things well wherever you go. I would like to say I do appreciate that the town had the intestinal fortitude to do their menorah lighting when the governor of California did not, because of the current conflicts overseas. And I think that says a lot about our town, that we had a Christmas tree lighting and a menorah lighting.
Yeah.
So, good on that. To my fellow council people, just keep plugging along, do the best job you can, do what's right and you'll always be right. Pat and I have, well, Pat's made more fun of me than I've made of him.
Oh,
But
I
he's a
don't
lot
know about
older than me,
that.
so that explains
I don't know
that.
about that.
So, but it's been a great ride. I thank the members of the council. I thank the people of Vernon. Jessica, just, let it roll off your back like water off the duck's back. You're going to get people that attack you. Everybody does. Don't pay much attention to them. Just move forward and do what you have to do. And that's all I got to say, except everybody wish Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, a very happy and safe New Year. And let's bring 24 in a good way for Vernon. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Rizzuto?
Yes, thank you, Ms. Bucieri. Well, while it is no secret that the mayor and I have occasionally had differences of opinion, either in public or in private, I can say for one thing, our differences have always been not to the end that we wish to achieve, but maybe the methods that we wish to use on those. I think both of us, I know for my fact that I believe thoroughly that you, in the course of your deliberations, the course of your actions, have felt you've done what is best for our community. I can assure you, Mayor, that the time that I've been involved in the township and many years on our Board of Education and many years on our township committee, that my differences have been to not where we're going, but just maybe how we're going. And I think you have been a gentleman. We both maybe occasionally have strayed from the track a little bit, but I think we've known each other long enough over the 30 plus years, 40 years that you've been neighbors. And I can only tell you, God bless you and good luck as you move on. I don't think this is going to be the last that we'll see with you, see of you. It's, I think there'll be some other issues that may arise, and I think the presence of, your presence will be something that will be beneficial to the community. So I'd just like to offer my hand to you.
Good luck.
I can only go back to some of the times when I've seen former President Reagan, who would, at the end of the week on a Friday, call in the Speaker of the House and crack a bottle, and they'd be sitting there for the next 3 hours.
Tip O'Neill.
Yeah, Tip O'Neill, that's right. And they'd be talking about what they really wanted to do, and some of the events that took place and how they were going to handle it. And again, there may have been a D, there may have been an R, but I think they all had an L for the community and the country that they lived in, and that was love. And so I think this is something we have to get back to, and hopefully we can continue to work that way. My best wishes to the community as we move into the heart of the Christmas season and then move into New Year. Please have a safe holiday, have a safe Christmas, enjoy yourself, enjoy it with your children. I can only tell you that I've got 3 10-year-old boys, triplets. They were born while I was sitting on this dais 10 years ago on December the 8th. And I've seen them grow from 3 in the hand to 3, at my back. So it was a very, very wonderful thing. And I hope that you all have a wonderful opportunity to enjoy your family. Christmas is a time for family. Hanukkah is a time for family. And it is something that you won't forget. So again, my thanks. Please drive safe. We need to see you all back in January. And Mayor-elect, I'm waiting for you. We're going to have a lot of fun. I think the township is going to be better for us, and we'll have a nice time. Thank you. Mr. Tadrick?
Mr.
Mr.
Yes, you
Tadrick?
woke up? Yes, you're awake?
Wake? No, I've been awake a long time. Takes a
A
long
real
time for
long
you.
time.
Yeah, right.
Before dirt.
Oh my gosh. Just,
Here he
okay.
goes again.
Okay.
I said, yeah, thank you. Thanks,
It's
Pat.
funny though. I don't know. He's the guy walking around with the sparkly beard. But what can I tell you? So, thank you, Joe, for your work with the community, both on the land use board. I don't know if people understand the nature of the land use board. It is not something that you just sit there and talk about. You need to have some background on it. I know that occasionally you come through with the right decision, so it's pretty good.
I appreciate that, Patrick.
I know you did. I just wanted to make sure that you understood that I recognize that. And
the check's in the mail.
check, no, I got it on I have it on my mantle, waiting for you to come back. So, okay.
I'll be back.
Good enough. And thank you for the time spent on the council, Joe. It's been a real pleasure
Thanks.
working. Thank you.
Pleasure working with all you guys.
Pleasure working with all of you. Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Thank you, Mr. Rizzuto. I'm going to be very quick, but I do want to, again, thank the mayor. We have not always seen eye to eye, but we've always been able to discuss things and work on things in a respectful manner, and on issues that we did see eye to eye on. I think we really worked well together. So I really do appreciate that, Mayor. I've enjoyed working with you these 2 years, even though we didn't always agree on everything. But I do appreciate your presence and your dedication to our town. Your caring for Vernon is evident, and I truly appreciate that. And I wish you and Reba well, and whatever your next endeavor is. I'm sure we will see you around town. And I wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year for you and your family. Joe, best wishes to you too, and wherever your next phase takes you. So thank you very much for your dedication for the Land Use Board and the Town Council. I appreciate that. And maybe I'll see you around if you're out at the Daily Beam with Pat sometime. But I just want to just thank all the volunteers that put on the Christmas tree lighting. It was a great event. The rain stopped just in time. There was a lot of fun activities for the kids. There was pictures with Santa, might be somebody you know. I know him. I know his wife and him. It was a really great event. I think the kids really enjoyed it. I was also able to go to the menorah lighting. It was also a very family-centered event, another great thing for our community to share together. So I just really appreciate the volunteers that put on both of those events. And I want to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Just pray everyone stays healthy and safe. Take your vitamins, zinc, vitamin D, vitamin C, and I'll see everyone in the new year. May I have a motion to close the floor?
Move second.
Move second. Okay. Rizzuto first, Sparta second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Thank you,
Happy
everybody.
holidays, everybody.
Thank you.
Out.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.